I'm on a roll today when it comes to making these videos. I'm in the mood for it. And, there's so much that I have realized that I kind of took for granted or I just completely ignored before. And, one of those things is, the reason why a lot of people don't get what they desire in life or what they actually feel they should be achieving in life is because most people are not willing to put themselves through the fire. You get what I'm saying? And when you're not willing to put yourself through the fire, it's almost the same as being willing to allow yourself to stay stagnated and complacent. So you really have no choice, but you really have two choices. And your two choices are you stay stuck or you go through the fire. And the thing is, as someone who believes in God, who knows God, who understands God, has faith in God, and understands the working of God and the power of God, I know that I cannot do it by myself. I don't even want to, because I know I can't. I know I wasn't made to go through this, my life, by myself. And so I find myself often returning back to where I came from. And I believe that if we really tune into what we were like as children, the innocence that we had as children, the purity we had as children, the richness we had as children, before adults started to shape us and mold us into what they believe we should be, we can get back in tune with that purity and that innocence that is God. That is God-like. Because when you are pure and when you are innocent, it causes you to have so much force and be so penetrable, because you are not chastised. You are not with resistance. You are not with anything that is not the truth. When you are pure and you are innocent, you are with truth, with your personal truth. And when you believe in your own personal truth because you don't have any resistance around you, you're able to do things like this. You're able to manifest like this. You're able to bring about miracles in your life like this because you are unadulterated. You are unfiltered. You are pure. You're rich. You get what I'm saying? So I've learned in my life that I need God. I need the power of God in me. I cannot do anything without the power of God in me. And the sacrifice that I have to make to keep the power of God dwelling within me is that I have to be obedient to the lifestyle that God wants me to live. And so there are certain things that I do not do. There are certain things that I will not do. I'm a human being. I'm not perfect, but I'm very disciplined. And discipline is not just a one-time thing. I keep disciplining myself over and over and over, and I keep putting myself through the fire over and over and over again so that I can forge myself into the steel that I know myself to be, into the hardness that I know myself to be. Not that my heart is hard, but my mind, my mentality has been sharpened so much, has been purified so much through the fire that nobody can break me because I have the power of God with me. And I was willing to put myself through the fire in order to get to that stage. Because listen, there are some things that I've done in my life that I regret. That I regret. I have definitely sinned. I have definitely made some disgusting mistakes, some stupid choices, illogical decisions that I've made that I have had to suffer the consequences for. And once I realized that the consequences that I was bringing about through my actions was not what I actually wanted, I had to go back to God and I had to face God. And you know what it's like to face God when you are in sin? That's when you can feel hell. You're gonna feel hell. You're gonna have to pay for it. Your soul is gonna be on fire. Your soul is gonna be on fire. There have been times when I was deep in the trenches of sin, laden with sin, fornicating over and over and over, having sex with somebody I'm not supposed to be having sex over and over and over. I mean, I'm so deep in that shit, man. So deep in it, man. And I knew, and that's when people are the most fearful. That's when people are most fearful to go to God, when they are laden in sin. But that's when you need God the most, because only He can save you. me a sound body. Give me health, strength, vitality. Give me back my righteousness. Give me back my innocence, my peace. Oh, he will give it to you. He will give it to you. He will, because God is in the business of forgiving. He loves us. He will give it back to you. But you're going to have to go through the fire first. And so oftentimes when I find myself in these prayers after committing sin, right, I feel like shit. I'm not going to lie to you. I'll be crying for days. I will feel so bad about myself. So bad about, I will feel so shameful, so disgusted with myself. Sometimes they even hate myself. But in that process of going so deep into the darkness, I'm able to then bounce back up into the light. Because even though sin is not where we should live, when you make a mistake, when you commit a sin and you make a mistake, if you repent for it, you get to learn from that mistake. And that mistake, instead of becoming your downfall, now becomes wisdom. It's gold now. Becomes a learning lesson. Instead of being the carbon in the earth that is now formulated into a diamond, well, that has substantial value now. You can use it. You can even share it with others. You get what I'm saying? So I've learned that the power of God is very transformative. And so in my life, I use God for everything. I use God for everything. Sometimes I just use God as my companion, because I'm in this truck. I be in this truck by myself. I just be praying. I just be talking about what I desire. I just be talking about what I want to see in my life. Sometimes I just be asking questions like, God, why this happened? Why that happened? And the answers come. The answers come to me in my conscience, in my mind. The answers come. So I'll be having full conversations with God, being guided. It doesn't have to be such a struggle relationship. Like a lot of Christians make the walk with God to be this really painful struggle. It can be sometimes, when you're dealing with spiritual battle, yeah, it gets hard. But there are times when God saves you and he puts you in the clouds, and it's like, you can feel the peace. So it's not all bad, and it's definitely worth it. But I've just learned so much about myself. I used to be a very lustful person, a very desirous person. And I know the reason why I used to be so sexually desirous and lustful, and I still have a strong sexuality now. Don't get that wrong, but I keep my sexuality in check, and I make sure that my sexuality is only, like I acknowledge it, but I don't use my sexuality to gain anything in life, because I know that, and a lot of women do this. Y'all be using your sexuality, y'all be using y'all looks and your bodies or whatever to get what y'all want. That's what women do. That's our dark power, right? We know how to be seductive. And I've learned that, yeah, it's good to, keep yourself looking good. It's good to, know your feminine grace and know your feminine charm. But that shouldn't be your go-to for achieving things in life, okay? That shouldn't be it. You should be valued for your mind, your spirit, your discipline, your integrity, your dignity, your virtue. That should be the reason why people like you. That should be the reason why people admire you. Even any man that you date or that you're gonna be with, make sure that he's with you, not just because you're sexy, but because you are a woman of character. You are a woman that cannot be found everywhere. You are a woman who has grace, who has dignity, who has a level of internal class that cannot be taken. That is what makes you worth more than gold. You get what I'm saying? And I've had to learn that, and I continue to go through the fire with that. I continue to be refined in that, because I'm always being tested. I work with men, powerful men who have more money than me every day. The temptation is there every day, and I have to realize that even though in this kind of situation where from the outside, from a societal standpoint, I may look like the lesser in the situation, because I'm young, because I'm a female, because I'm not financially powerful, you would think that I might be easy to be taken advantage of. But the truth been tempted, and I could have been dating certain people, or with guys that would have taken care of me financially and whatever the case may be. And it's like, I'm not gonna sell myself out to be with somebody just because they got money. If I don't see them as a man of God. If he's not a man of God, I don't want him. If he's not a man of God, I don't want him. And I'm not talking about I don't want no damn deacon, no pastor. I don't want one of them church folk. I do not want a church man. That's not what I'm talking about. When I say a man of God, I'm talking about a man of God in his spirit. Is he righteous? Is he moral? Does he have discipline, self-discipline as well? Character? Is he honest? Does he lie, or is he deceptive? And because I'm so pure in my spirit, it's so easy for me to read when a man is lying to me and when a man is being deceptive. And what I've realized is that men who are deceptive and who are liars are actually very fragile and weak men. And what I find is, because I am in the truth, those men who think they may be deceiving me or manipulating me end up being the ones being deceived and manipulated in the end, because they cannot touch me, because we are not the same. We are not of the same spiritual code. We are not of the same spiritual pattern. Therefore, they can't even touch me, because I'm with God and they with something else. So at the end of the day, it's not about money. It's not about looks. It's not about power. It's about who you with. What side are you on? You get what I'm saying? And I firmly believe in that. And I've dedicated, I keep recommitting my life to it over and over again. I'm never going to give it up. You get what I'm saying? So it's been an interesting journey, I mean, when I first came into here, I was so laden with lust. And I used to just be so enamored with all of the attention that I was getting, because, the guys who see me, they just gravitate towards me. And what I realize now is I don't even see men as men anymore. I've worked with men and I've fought through my own demons when it comes to lust so much that now I really just see men as my brothers. So you get what I'm saying? And I think that's what us women need to get back to, so we can start reclaiming our power and our righteousness. Instead of seeing men as men, realize that we are all brothers and sisters in humanity, right? So when you see a man as a brother, for one, it will really take away whatever anxiety and fear you may have regarding him. Because if you frame it in your mind that every man is your brother, it'll make you more at ease to speak with truth to him, as you would your own flesh and blood brother, I hope, right? When your brother, and if you have a real brother, and somebody that you, in your family, that's your actual brother that you have a good relationship with, it's kind of easy to talk to him, right? You can just be yourself around him. If he's fucking up, you're going to be willing to tell him, hey, don't do that. You'll be more willing to be yourself with him. But, a lot of women see men as like creatures from Mars. They're just our brothers, okay? And they're not your gods. Men are not our gods, okay? They're just our brothers. And once you start realizing that, and you start treating them that way, in the sense that, yes, you can love them without having to be sexually active, or without having to be sexual towards them, it will give you the safe space you need to be able to be yourself around them. I don't know what this guy's doing, but he should have been came over. Whatever. It'll give you more of the confidence to be yourself around them, and to also maintain your own integrity with them, because now you're not looking at them from a sexual standpoint. You're not looking at them as creatures of the opposite sex. You're looking at them as a relative to you in humanity. So when they do their bullshit, it'll probably be easier for you to correct them and check them. Oh my God, this is terrible. I'm going up this steep grade right now. My truck is like dying on me right now. I really need to get this thing fixed ASAP. when you have that level of human respect for them, it allows you to have a better relational foundation with them, to where you can just be honest. And it also allows them the space to respect you as a person instead of as a member of the opposite sex. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I've learned in my experience of working with men. It's always wise to see them in a loving way, but in a way that you can still have boundaries with them. And so to see them as your brother is the perfect way to do it. You know? Not every man is your husband. Not every man is going to be your husband. You will only have one. You're supposed to only have one. But every man is your potential brother through humanity. So instead of, take all this romance out of your head. Take all this romance and all these love novels and all this shit they put on TV about what the relationship between men and women is supposed to be like. Take all of that out of your head for a minute and have some common sense and some decency. Everything does not, we live in a very hypersexualized society. You get what I'm saying? Everything is about this weird, over-romanticized notion of love and sex. And the truth is, like the desire for sex and all of that, it comes up because that's a natural part of the life experience. But life is not about sex. It's not even about just romantic love. Love exists in all different kinds of forms. All different forms. It doesn't always have to be this romantic thing. Sometimes, some of y'all ladies, some of y'all men too, y'all been through so much shit. Y'all don't have no business even entertaining no romantic love. First of all, y'all need to be learning how to love yourselves. And then having a very safe and basic understanding of love that you can share with other people. But this hyper romantic, hypersexual thing, that gotta stop. The feelings of romance and sex will come naturally with the person who is meant for you. And you won't have to force it if it's the right person, because that attraction will bring it out in you. But, a lot of people get carried away with that, and that's why a lot of people get manipulated, because y'all think that's normal. I don't think it's normal for me to just be romantically interested in somebody. I don't. I think that when something like that happens, it can either be there's manipulation going on to my emotions, because I know my vulnerability as a woman, as an emotionally sensitive woman. So it means, and I'm very skeptical. I've been through a lot, so I'm very skeptical with people. So my first thing is, I take it as a flag that there may be some emotional manipulation going on, or B, this could actually really be the person that I may end up being with. We may have a chemistry that allows that to happen. And so instead of just going right into the romance or right into the love and the relationship, I go through a process of vetting this person and discerning this person and judging this person. Not judging them in a sense of whether they are right or wrong, but whether they are right for me. Whether this is somebody that is of God, who has been sent from God, or is this the enemy playing tricks on me? Because there's a lot of that out there. I get manipulated all the time by guys. Do I succumb to it? No, I don't. But there are a lot of dudes out there who see a pretty girl and they may not have the character or the whatever, the internal facilities to actually be with somebody like me, but because I'm attracted to them, they will do whatever it takes, including lying, to try and get into my space. And I'm aware of that. I'm not cocky about it, but I'm aware of it. I can't be foolish and I can't be naive. You get what I'm saying? So I've learned how to protect myself. It's so funny, they always say men are the protectors of women. No, I actually don't believe that. I don't believe that, because if you look at history, men are the oppressors of women, and men are a lot of times the abusers of women. So I do not see men as my protector. Yes, they may be my brothers in certain spaces, but in certain ways, but they are not my protectors. I am my protector, and God is my protector. God made me, not man. Okay? So I don't see men as my protectors. Now my husband, he may be my protector. My grandfather, my brother, those men can be my protectors. But these men out here in the streets that don't know me, they don't have no obligation to me. They don't have no obligation to my well-being. me, and they don't even know me. You know, and some of y'all ladies out here just trusting these guys willy-nilly and wonder why you end up hurt. You can't be that silly. You know, you have to put more value on yourself than that. You can't just be that free with everybody. With certain people, yes. The people that you prove, the ones that have been proven to you, the ones that you trust, yes. But the guy that you met 1 week ago down at the supermarket, no, you don't know him. You don't know him. You do not know him. Anyways, it's so funny hearing myself talk like this because all this that I'm talking about, I have never had anybody tell me any of this stuff. My mom didn't teach me this. My grandma didn't teach me this. My dad wasn't even there growing up. I didn't have no dad to guide me. I had to go through this